Chosen one, do you feel like life has been throwing constant challenges your way? The bills never seem to stop coming. Relationships are strained, and the weight of your daily struggles feels almost unbearable at times. You find yourself wondering if there's more to this life, more to what you're facing, more to your journey. Well, I'm here to tell you your story is far from ordinary. You see, the challenges you're facing, whether in your job, your family, or your heart, are not just random. They are stepping stones shaping you for something much bigger than you can currently see. God's plan for you is unfolding, and while you may feel lost, every hardship is guiding you toward your divine destiny. Let me take you to a familiar place, a quiet suburban neighborhood where you wake up early every day, rushing to get to work, balancing everything on your plate. Maybe it's a small town you call home where life feels simple but not always easy. Or perhaps it's a busy city apartment where you're just trying to keep your head above water in the midst of constant noise and pressure. Whether you're driving down a long highway or grabbing a coffee at a local diner, the places around you may seem like just ordinary backdrops. But there's more happening in these familiar spots than meets the eye. It's here amidst the routine that your calling begins to take shape and your life is moving in a direction only God can see. You might be struggling with financial problems, relationship stress, or the pressure of not being where you thought you'd be in your career. But what if I told you that these very struggles are part of something much bigger? A divine plan that has been in the works long before you even knew it. What if everything you've experienced, the hard days, the sacrifices, the moments of doubt, were all leading you to this very moment? You've been through the ups and downs, and though it may not seem like it now, every step is preparing you for the calling that's been placed on your life. I know it's hard to see the bigger picture right now, but imagine every struggle, every setback is part of God's divine preparation. And as you look around, you might not recognize it yet, but your purpose is slowly being revealed. You are being shaped into the person God has always known you could be. Chosen one. The journey you're on is not just about surviving. It's about understanding that every moment, every decision, and every challenge is part of a greater divine purpose. So ask yourself this: what if everything happening in your life right now is setting you up for something far greater than you've imagined? Something guided by a plan that's been in motion long before you ever took your first step. The story begins at a particularly challenging moment in the main character's life. Perhaps they're facing a professional crisis, maybe their job is at risk, and the weight of uncertainty is overwhelming. Or maybe it's a personal struggle, a relationship is falling apart, and the emotional toll is weighing heavily on their soul. In this moment of despair, they start questioning everything, their decisions, their worth, and whether it's even worth pushing forward. They feel as though everything is falling apart at once. The world around them seems to be moving forward while they remain stuck in an unending cycle of setbacks and disappointment. The constant pressure makes it feel like there's no way out, and they begin to wonder if they're destined to stay trapped in this struggle forever. What they don't realize, however, is that this very challenge is precisely what they need to face in order to prepare for their divine calling. It's easy to feel like these difficulties are meaningless or simply the result of bad luck. But as the story unfolds, subtle signs begin to appear, small moments that the character initially overlooks. Maybe it's a stranger's words that seem perfectly timed, or a sudden sense of inexplicable peace amid the chaos. Perhaps it's a dream that stirs something deep inside them. It's as if God is gently guiding them, leading them without them even realizing it. For the viewer, this section serves as a prompt to reflect on their own life. How many times have they felt overwhelmed, unsure of the path ahead? How many times have they questioned whether their struggles were just a random series of unfortunate events? The message is clear. These moments are not meaningless. They are part of a larger divine design. Just as the character's path is being shaped through their struggles, so too is the viewer's. Encourage them to recognize that every challenge, every hardship is not just something to endure. It's a lesson, a preparation for the calling that awaits. While the path may be unclear right now, God is working behind the scenes, leading them exactly where they need to be. Just as the character doesn't fully understand the divine purpose unfolding in their life, neither do they understand the power of the moments they're experiencing. But in time, everything will become clear. The character enters a season of profound isolation, a period when everything that once felt familiar begins to slip away. Relationships that once seemed secure begin to feel distant, as if the people they once depended on have quietly stepped back. The phone calls stop coming, messages go unanswered, and the days feel empty, filled only with the hum of solitude. The opportunities that once seemed abundant suddenly dry up. Promotions, projects, social invitations, all of it seems to disappear. They find themselves staring at their own reflection, wondering what happened. Why does it feel like they're being left behind? Why is the world around them moving forward while they feel as if they're stuck abandoned in the quiet? It's a time of deep confusion where the character wonders if they're truly being forgotten. In moments like this, it's easy to fall into despair and believe that their purpose has been lost, that they are no longer significant in the eyes of the world. The silence feels like a punishment, and the isolation an unbearable weight. But this period, as painful as it feels, is not punishment. It is divine preparation. It is in these quiet moments that the character's spirit is being shaped, that God is drawing them closer to their true purpose. The character may not understand it at first, but this silence is not a void. It is fertile ground for growth. Just as a seed must be buried in the soil unseen and unacknowledged before it can break through and blossom, the character is in a place of hidden growth. Every moment of loneliness, every night spent wondering what's next, is actually a part of God's process of strengthening their faith and resilience. Though they may feel abandoned, they are actually being prepared for a greater mission, one they aren't yet capable of understanding. This isolation is not a sign of God's absence, but an indication of His work within them. In this quiet space, the character's faith is tested and refined. They learn to trust not in what they can see, but in what they cannot. They discover the depths of their own inner strength, learning patience and perseverance when everything seems still. It is in this time of solitude that the character will learn to depend on their faith, not on external validation or distractions. They are building a foundation that, though invisible to them now, will support them when the time comes for their true calling to be revealed. For the viewer, this period of isolation may feel all too familiar. How many times have they found themselves in a place where relationships seem to fall away, where doors once open now remain shut? How often have they felt as though the world was moving forward without them, leaving them behind in the quiet? The temptation is to see this silence as failure, as something to be feared or avoided. But the truth is that these moments are not failures. They are divine opportunities for growth. Just as the character's spirit is quietly being shaped, so too are their own moments of solitude part of a bigger divine design. Encourage the viewer to reflect on their own life. What if this season of isolation, this time of struggle and quiet, is actually God's way of preparing them for something greater? Just as the character's journey is about learning to trust in divine timing and growth, so too is the viewer being called to embrace their own moments of quiet reflection. These times of solitude are not a sign of abandonment. They are moments of deep personal preparation. God's plan is at work even when it is hard to see. The viewer may not fully understand why they are going through this period of isolation, just as the character does not yet understand the fullness of their divine calling. But encourage them to trust that this is all part of the process. Growth doesn't always happen in the loud moments, in the visible successes. Often it happens quietly in the unseen moments when we're being shaped into who we are meant to become. When the time is right, the purpose of these moments will become clear, and they will understand how every step, even the lonely ones, has led them to the place they are meant to be. This is a message of hope. The quiet times are not wasted. They are the hidden preparation that is shaping the future. Just as a seed grows beneath the soil before it reaches the light, so too is the viewer's soul being cultivated for something greater. The growth may not be visible now, but it is happening. The isolation is not a punishment, it is preparation for the beautiful purpose God has planned. And when that moment comes, they will look back and understand that every moment of silence was part of the divine journey to their calling. The character reaches a profound turning point. one that feels almost like an awakening. It happens suddenly, like a moment of clarity breaking through the fog of confusion. Perhaps it's a quiet whisper in their heart, an unexpected event, or a conversation that shifts their perspective entirely. In that moment, they realize that all the struggles, the isolation, and the doubts they faced were not meaningless. They were part of a greater purpose, a divine calling they've been slowly prepared for. God's message becomes unmistakably clear, as though a veil has been lifted, revealing the path ahead. At first, it's overwhelming. The character may feel unworthy or unsure if they are truly ready for what lies ahead, but the call is undeniable. It's not the full picture yet. The path is still shrouded in mystery, but they sense that they are being guided by a higher hand, one that has been leading them through every step of their journey, even when they couldn't see it. The fear of the unknown begins to fade as they realize that this is their moment, an invitation to step forward in faith, trusting that God has been with them all along, preparing them for this very calling. The character may not yet see the entire journey ahead, but they are now called to move forward, even with uncertainty. It is not about having all the answers. It's about trusting in God's guidance and stepping forward with the faith that He will reveal the next step when the time is right. This moment is a test of faith, a chance for the character to embrace their purpose and trust that they don't need to have the entire roadmap. All they need to do is take that first step, knowing that God will lead them through each chapter. For the viewer, this section is a reminder that their divine calling is also unfolding, even if they don't see it yet. Just as the character has reached a moment of clarity and purpose, so too can they trust that God has a plan for their life. The struggles and confusion they've experienced are not random or wasted. They are part of a greater divine timing, each moment leading them closer to the fulfillment of their purpose. Divine timing is a crucial concept here. The challenges the character faced earlier, the moments of struggle, the periods of silence, none of it was wasted. Every difficulty served as preparation, a lesson that would equip them to embrace the calling that is now becoming clearer. God's timing is never rushed, and it is never too late. Just as the character had to go through certain experiences to be ready for this moment, the viewer must trust that everything they've gone through is part of the process of preparing them for the destiny ahead. They don't need to understand all the details right now. They just need to trust that God is orchestrating the perfect timing for their lives. Encourage the viewer to take comfort in the idea that they are not alone in this journey. The timing of their calling is just as divinely orchestrated as it was for the character. God knows exactly when they will be ready, and He knows when the moment will come for them to step forward in faith. It may not make sense now, but just as the character's path was designed with divine care, so too is their path unfolding with purpose. They are being prepared for something greater, even if they cannot yet see it. All they need to do is trust in God's perfect timing and be ready to take that step when the call comes. As the character feels the weight of their divine revelation, they now face a decision, a choice to act on the calling they've received. The path before them is still unclear, and doubts may rise, but they are compelled to move forward. The fear of the unknown still lingers, but it's overshadowed by a new sense of purpose and courage. In this moment, the character must make a choice to stay in the comfort of the familiar or to take a leap of faith, trusting that God's guidance will carry them through. This leap is not about knowing exactly where they will land. It's about trusting that the ground will appear beneath their feet as they move forward. It's about stepping out of the old and into the new, even if the full picture isn't yet revealed. The character may not feel completely ready, but they understand that God is calling them to take action now, and that every step will lead them closer to the fulfillment of their purpose. For the viewer, this section serves as an invitation to take their own leap of faith. Perhaps they've been sitting on the sidelines, unsure if they are ready to embrace their calling. Maybe they felt hesitant to move forward because the path ahead is uncertain. But just like the character, they are being called to trust that God will not let them fall. The leap may seem daunting, but it is the only way to step into the destiny that has been prepared for them. Encourage the viewer to take action, to trust that God is with them every step of the way. even when they can't yet see the full picture. Embracing the journey. As the character steps forward, they begin to see small signs that the path is unfolding as it should. It's not a perfect or smooth journey. There are still challenges, obstacles, and moments of doubt, but with each step, they feel a growing sense of peace and confidence. They begin to understand that this journey is not about perfection, it's about progress. It's about moving forward with faith, even when the road is uncertain. This section emphasizes that the journey itself is just as important as the destination. It's in the stepping, the striving, and the faith that the character truly discovers who they are meant to be. They learn to embrace the unknown, trusting that with each challenge, they are becoming more equipped for the purpose God has called them to fulfill. For the viewer, this is a reminder that their own journey is not about achieving perfection, but about trusting God and moving forward in faith, even when the road ahead is unclear. Encourage them to embrace the journey with all its ups and downs, knowing that each step is bringing them closer to the person God has called them to become. The obstacles they face are not roadblocks. They are opportunities for growth and deeper connection with their purpose. Affirmation of the calling. The character now has a deep inner knowing that they are on the right path. They are no longer doubting their worth or purpose. They are embracing it fully. Their heart is aligned with God's will. And though the journey ahead may still be long, they are certain that every step is part of their divine mission. They have taken the leap of faith, and now they are walking forward with confidence, trusting that God's plan will continue to unfold in perfect timing. For the viewer, this section is an affirmation of their own calling. Just as the character has moved from uncertainty to clarity, so too will they. Encourage them to declare their own faith in God's plan for their life and to embrace the journey ahead. Whatever doubts they may have, they are exactly where they need to be, and they are fully equipped to move forward in the direction of their divine calling. The leap of faith is not the end, but the beginning. And as the character moves forward, they will continue to grow, learn, and discover the depths of the purpose that has always been within them. For the viewer, this section reminds them that their leap of faith is just the beginning of their own incredible journey toward destiny. With God leading them, there is nothing they cannot overcome. As the character's journey unfolds, so does the truth of their purpose. Every struggle they faced, every hardship endured, was not without meaning. It wasn't punishment or coincidence, it was preparation. Every moment of doubt, every trial was a vital step toward the powerful calling that is now becoming clear. Just as the character is beginning to realize, you too are on the verge of something extraordinary. Your struggles have not been in vain. They have been shaping you, refining you, and making you ready for the destiny God has set before you. Like the character, you may not yet fully understand the magnitude of the journey you're on, but trust me, you are being prepared for something significant. Your story is far from over, and your divine purpose is unfolding in God's perfect timing. The trials you've faced, the pain you've carried, and the doubts you've wrestled with are all part of the greater plan. You chosen one are destined for greatness, and everything in your life has led you to this moment. Remember, you are not just someone going through the motions of life. You are the chosen one. Your story is one of divine purpose, and as you continue forward, you are walking the path that God has laid out for you, even if you can't see all the steps ahead. Know this: God's timing is perfect, and your calling is unfolding exactly as it should. You are being equipped for the journey ahead, and nothing, not even your struggles, will stop the purpose that is on your life. So I urge you to trust this journey. Declare your belief in the calling on your life and take each step with faith. The road may not always be easy, but it is leading you to something powerful. God is with you every step of the way, and you are not walking alone. You are called, you are chosen, and you are ready for what comes next. I invite you to reflect on this message. What is God preparing you for? What challenges have shaped you for your purpose? I encourage you to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Affirm to yourself and to others that you are chosen for greatness. Stand in your purpose and trust that with every step you are moving closer to the divine plan that God has written for you. Remember, your journey is not just your own. It's a journey of transformation, growth, and divine fulfillment. Embrace it. The best is yet to come. Heavenly Father, I come before you today with a heart full of gratitude and faith. Thank you for guiding me through every moment of my journey, both the trials and the triumphs. I acknowledge that every struggle, every challenge has been a step toward the greater purpose you have for my life. Lord, help me to trust your timing even when the path seems unclear. Strengthen my faith and give me the courage to step forward knowing that you are with me every step of the way. I declare today that I am your chosen one, and I embrace the calling you have placed on my life. I believe that your plan for me is perfect and that every moment of isolation, every season of silence has been preparing me for something greater. Help me to walk in your truth, to trust in your guidance, and to move forward with confidence even when I can't see the whole picture. Lord, fill my heart with peace, knowing that you are always working behind the scenes, shaping me into who I am meant to be. May I live each day with purpose, knowing that I am never alone. I place my trust in you, and I declare that I am ready for the next step in this divine journey. In Jesus' name, amen.